All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started with our Gap Year Abroad info session. It's a small group of us here today, but we're gonna be recording the session and sending it out afterwards. So whoever's not here able to make it live, will be able to learn all about our info sessions and our Gap Year Abroad program, and then we'll open up at the end for a Q&A. And if there's any questions as I go through the program and our offerings, feel free to put a question in the Q&A or in the chat, and I'll definitely be sure to answer it after the presentation ends. So who is CIEE? We are a nonprofit organization sending students abroad for over 75 years. Since 1947, we're present in 30 plus different countries, sending over 30,000 students abroad every year, whether that be high school, college, and post-college. We are a part of 2,500 different students, sending different high school students, and then we have a bunch of different scholarships since we are a nonprofit as well. And our true mission is to humanize international relations, really foster peace through international education and exchange programs to promote intercultural understanding. So here's our agenda for today's webinar. We're going to meet our team, our locations and program overview, the benefits of a gap year, the application process, what's included, academics, homestay, independent travel policy, and then a Q&A at the end. So here's our team. We have 3 different enrollment coordinators. Nicole, she's our enrollment coordinator for the Midwest. I'm Ariel, I'm the enrollment coordinator on the West Coast. And then Adam, he's our enrollment coordinator on the East and International. So for students who are opening up an application, depending on where you're located, you'll be speaking to one of us basically from the minute you open your application to when you get on the plane to leave on program. We're here to walk you through all the processes, any difficult questions you may have, and kind of be your support system throughout the whole pre-departure process. And then also Alberto, he is our sales manager for First Year Abroad and Gap Year Abroad. And he comes along and helps out as well most of the time. So if you're wondering where locations are that we send students for our Gap Year Abroad program, we span over 3 different continents for term offerings, and all of our programs have semester and academic year offerings. Our semester program runs just under 90 days, and they do not require a visa, while our academic year is similar to a year in school and will require a visa. And then our website has a list of all of our programs, terms, and tentative dates for all the programs and some of fun info about a day in the life and life in these countries. And then if you are looking to do something a little shorter, CIEE offers 3 to 4 week summer programs for high school students. You could still be a recent graduate, high school graduate to go on a summer program. But gap year is a great option for students that are looking to do a longer semester or academic year. So our Gap Year Abroad program is a language and cultural program. So we offer 6 languages as a part of our GAP programs. Students are enrolled in a language program in a country of their choice. They're also further immersed in language and culture through our homestay family that we carefully vet and match based on information noted through the applicant's preferences and personality that they will write about in their application. And then the 6 different languages that we do offer are Spanish, French, German, Italian, Arabic, and Japanese. You're placed in a local language school with a bunch of other students, not just CIE. And it's a great way to really immerse yourself in a culture and come back a whole proficiency level higher, or maybe even fluent. The great thing about our Gap Year program is that you don't need to have any prerequisites or have to know any language beforehand. You could go into it knowing nothing. And if you are learning a language, you can be placed in a higher level class. So you can kind of challenge yourself more and really come back a level higher than you've already been studying. So who are our GAP students? We have only a few eligibility requirements for our Gap Year program. Students must not be 18 or 17 or younger. You do have to be 18 and older to go on the program, and then no more than 1 year after high school graduation. We try to keep it so everyone is in a similar age group, so it's easy to make friends and relate to each other. And then it's really for students who want that break in between high school and going to college, a great way to get to travel, get experience, have something to write on a college essay or put on your resume, or learn a language. Maybe if you're deferred or waiting for college acceptance, a lot of students that are doing gap year programs do it because maybe they didn't get into their dream school and they just want to take that time and gain more experience before going abroad. And then really gaining experience being away from home It's a great way to have that first experience away from home in a structured environment where you're meeting a bunch of new people while also getting to travel the world and really put yourself in the uncomfortable and becoming comfortable with it. So why do a gap year with CIEE? There is many reasons, but our main one is language and cultural fluency. You're really immersing yourself in a new culture and learning a different language. Are you staying with a homestay family, which we all vet and do background checks on and really match it to the student and the preferences, lifelong connections. And then we also operate our own study center. So in each location that we offer for GAP and for any program that CIE offers, we have centers where center staff is, and they host events, day trips, overnight trips, weekend trips for the students. And it's kind of like a hub with a bunch of CIEE cohort, and it's a great way to have a safety net there and 24/7 support always at your fingertips. So the program types for our language and culture components, this is stuff that you'll be getting with our Gap Year Abroad, living with a homestay family, 15 to 20 hours of interactive language learning. This is about 4 to 5 hours a day in a language class. 2 cultural activities a week. Some can be done with the local university or some are also done with just the CIE center staff. And then since this is a GAP program, we want you to have free time to explore and see the city and then go travel on the weekends. So weekends are also for group excursions. We have 1 overnight trip and 2 day trips per semester, and then additional CIE cultural activities and personal travel. And then we also offer a language course certificate/transcript that students can use, put it towards their college application, on their resume, towards a job if they're if they really come back fluent and need something to prove that they took the classes and this is the grade they got. And then prior to departure, participants will take part in an OPDO. This is a way to connect with other participants and expectation settings, really going over everything that a student will need to know before going on program. And then once you're there, you will also have on-site orientation at your program destination with our center staff and the other CIEE students. This is where we'll pick you up from the airport. You'll get to meet everyone. You get to see the city through CIEE and meet your homestay family at the same time. And then, like I said before, no language experience is required. And then all semester programs are under 90 days. And then academic year programs are about 24 weeks. It follows the academic year from like September to May. And then here's a brief overview of what those days would look like. So for our fall or spring semester, about to be 88 days, and then no visas required. And then for our academic year, it's approximately 9 months with a fall start. And then a visa is required for this. I don't know if any of you are familiar with the visa process. We do assist in providing some documentation for the visa application, but students are responsible for personally applying and paying any applicable fees towards the visa process, but we will help out with what that would look like. So we do hold your hand a little bit, but it is ultimately up to you to figure out that visa process and make your appointments through that. And then there is a 3-week break around Christmas where students can travel. And for academic year students, most of the time students are switching homestays from one semester to the next. So depending on how that looks, you might not have the first homestay available to stay at. But if that becomes a problem, you can always keep your stuff there and figure it out with your homestay family. But we do recommend that time to travel if you are staying for that academic year, because it's a great way to go see other parts of Europe or see other parts of, if you're going to Japan or Asia or all the different locations we offer. So here's a little bit about the application process. It's very straightforward. Once you open an application on our website, it's going to give you a list of things that you have to do before you're able to submit. First thing is informational. We want to get to know you, just like a little short snippets about yourself. Why do you think you're a good fit for the program? And then it helps us get to know you and make sure that you are a good fit and that everyone is going to be happy abroad. And then gender identity in case of emergency, personal details. And then we have other more tedious stuff to do, like health forms from your doctor, filling out from your parents, mental health history forms, and then more operational stuff, which includes academic transcripts, passport upload. No worries if you do not have a passport. We do recommend that you make your appointment now, and if you can, get that expedited. Because you never know how long it could take. Some places it could take 6 weeks, some places it could take 6 months, kind of depending on your passport office. And then terms and conditions, and then application fee as well, which is $50. And then we do have early application deadline discounts, so you will receive a $400 discount off the total price of your program if you apply early. I do believe the early program um, deadline is June 1st, and then the final deadline is July 1st for fall. And then for October, it is, sorry, for spring, the first early deadline is October 1st, and the final deadline is November 1st. And then again, if you want to do academic year, please put that in your application beforehand because it's not always possible once abroad, since a visa comes into play once you decide to stay for academic year. And then here's a little bit more about the application process, even though we just went over a little bit. Again, academic transcript, a health form, legal guardian approval, because we do want to keep your parents or legal guardians in the know of what your next year is going to look like. And then once you're accepted conditionally into the program, basically once you submit your application and have all those details in, you will be required to do an interview with your enrollment coordinator, who you will already be in contact with. Basically, it's not too much of an interview. It's basically just us throwing information at you, setting expectations, and making sure that everything is smooth and you know what to expect before going on program. And then you must be 18, be in good academic standing. This means having a 2.5 or higher to go on program, and then no more than 1 year post high school graduation. So what's included in our gap year program? Main things that are included in the program and fees that I want to highlight are transportation to and from the airport, placement in a language school, screening for your homestay placement, room and board with your homestay, on-program support to make sure you guys are happy and safe. And if you have any questions, you'll always be able to reach out to the CIEE center staff 24/7, no matter what. And then I like to mention that our central staff does plan cultural activities, weekly day trips, and an overnight trip. And then feel free to take a picture of this and check out our website for more information and what's included in like the day-to-day and program fees. It's important to note that flights are not included in our program tuition. That is a separate process. We do use a program called Flight Fox, which makes it easy. It goes through CIEE, but it is a third party. You are welcome to get your own flight if you wish, but this keeps it easy because it lets us know if there's going to be delays for when you do have to get picked up from the airport and transportation that way. We do have 24/7 support available to students and parents at our US headquarters staff. So in case any parent has any worries or concerns while their student is on program, you will have access to the CIE team in the US as your son or daughter or student has access to the CIE staff in the center location as well. So this is what academics look like. Like I said before, it's 15 to 20 hours of interactive language learning. It's approximately from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday. 2 cultural activities, some done with local university students. So this means since you are enrolled in a local university, let's say you're going to Kyoto, Japan, you could be in classes with students from Spain who really want to learn Japanese. So it's a great way to meet other people, not just the CIE cohort. And then placement and language level will depend on students' performance on a language assessment. Like I said before, if you have been practicing a language, like let's say you're taking Spanish in school or doing Duolingo, and you think that you can be placed in a higher level class than just beginner, that's totally possible. And then the language classes will be offered mostly at the language local school and then some of the CIE center staff as well locations. So a little bit about our homestay placements. We really work hard to limit the amount of commuting time for participants to get from their homestays to their program location. We really work to ensure that all of our participants are in a single location and have similar routes and commutes to the center school or location. And then our goal is always to be as close as possible and then no more than an hour each way. And then our important thing to note is that our homestay families do not depend on stipend or funds from CIE. These are all volunteers who have mostly worked with CIE before, whether that be for our high school or GAP programs or college. They really just want to help out and provide a place to stay for students. And all of our homestay families are well vetted, carefully interviewed, and have to complete a criminal background check for anyone 18 or over. And then the local staff does conduct site visits to verify the home environment and then how close it is to the homestay to the homestay to the location. And then what you can expect in your homestay are meals, you bet breakfast, lunch, and dinner, Wi-Fi, obviously, language immersion. So English levels may vary depending on which location you choose, but the placements, we do instruct our homestays to really speak the primary language of their native language in the country and with the students because it's a great way to keep learning outside of the classroom, and that's what's really going to actually make students fluent when they come back, or at least a whole proficiency level higher, because they're really getting to practice in real time. And then it's a warm family environment. And then, like I said before, academic students may need to switch homestays mid-year. It just depends. So for our gap year program, we do offer an independent travel policy. So since students are 18 plus, we do obviously expect students to travel and want to go away on weekends into different cities, maybe after school ends or on the weekends. We do say that parents and visitors are allowed to visit students on program, but not in the first 60 days, just because we want students to really get acclimated to the environment and you have that full independent experience. And then as a result, you cannot miss school for visitors. So really try to plan around breaks or weekends or long weekends. And then if you are planning a travel, we do have a travel request form just with logistical details so we can keep track of where the students are just for, safety reasons so we know and it makes the whole process easier. And then program participants must also get program release forms if they need to leave program earlier than scheduled or if they're traveling after the program finishes. If you want to extend your gap semester or year, you do have to fill out a program release form. That is super easy. We send it to you once you express interest that you want to extend. And then this applies to all gap year programs, whether semester or academic year. Oops, my bad. And then plan with peace of mind. So we want you to plan with peace of mind on program, and your health and safety is our #1 priority. So we do have a program insurance policy. So if you're planning to go on program and then up until departure, something happens like a health reason, a political reason, a natural disaster, or your program gets canceled for whatever reason, for anything factors that are out of your control, the program is refundable under this policy. And then again, our application deadlines are June 1st for early application and then July 1st for final deadline. And then for spring, it is October 1st and then November 1st. And then just to point out our other post-high school program, this is our first year abroad program. It is for college freshmen who are looking to study abroad their freshman year before waiting for maybe their sophomore or junior year. The great part about this program is that students are taking college level courses, general education courses, just abroad. So it's the same if they were going to take these courses at any school as a freshman. And really getting the transfer credits to transfer into maybe their dream school, a school of their choice, or a partner school, or have direct enrollment into Dean College, which is our US school of record, basically who you're getting your transcripts from. So it's a great way if you really want to stay on track to graduate in whatever time frame you have, or go to a 2-year, 4-year community, kind of up to you. So this is our first year abroad program. We do host webinars for this as well, which will be in the email that goes out after this to a link to everything. And then that is mostly all for our Gap Year Abroad program. I'm gonna unmute everyone, so it's open for Q&A, or if you feel more comfortable answering or asking questions in the chat, feel free to put some in there as well. Awesome. And then if there is no questions, no problem. If one comes up later on, you can always email us at fya-gya@ciee.org. Or call us at the 866-583-0332 number. These numbers are all listed on our website. They will take you to one of the enrollment coordinators. So don't be afraid if you're confused about anything or want more details about a specific location. We are always here to help and we'll definitely be able to get back to you. And then all the recordings of all these presentations do go on our YouTube channel. So if you want to share it or you want to re-look at it and revisit it, that's totally an option too. And I will be sending out a recording of this specific video to you guys as well. But if that is all, And there are no questions. Thank you so much for coming to the CIEE Gap Year Abroad info session, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.